I thank USG Rosemary DiCarlo, OCHA Director Edem Vosornu, and Ms. Hala Al-Karib for their comprehensive briefings. We welcome the participation of the representatives of Sudan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Egypt, UAE, and EU in the meeting today. President, as the briefers have highlighted, the situation in Sudan continues to deteriorate at an alarming pace. The expansion of hostilities into the Kordofan region, following the catastrophe in Al Fashir, reflects another dangerous escalation. Particularly concerning are the sieges of major population centers, the deliberate targeting of civilians and civilian infrastructure, the deliberate use of increasingly sophisticated weaponry, and the growing spillover across borders, including along the Sudan-South Sudan border. It is the civilian population of Sudan that is paying the heaviest price of this conflict. Pakistan condemns in strongest terms the atrocities committed by the Rapid Support Forces in Darfur, including in Al Fashir and earlier in El Geneina, as well as the continued violence now unfolding in Kordofan. We reiterate that deliberate attacks against peacekeepers, United Nations personnel, humanitarian workers, and facilities are unacceptable and may amount to war crimes. Those atrocities must end, and those responsible must be held accountable. Pakistan's position on Sudan remains firmly anchored in the principles of the UN Charter. We reaffirm our unwavering support for the sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity of Sudan. The preservation of a unified Sudan is essential, not only for its people, but also for the peace and stability of the Horn of Africa, the Sahel, and the Red Sea region. President, at the same time, we stress that there is no military solution to this conflict. The only viable path forward lies in meaningful dialogue. We support the efforts and peace plan presented by the transitional Sudanese government. Interim Prime Minister Kamil Idris briefed this council in December on that plan. We also welcome the African Union Peace and Security Council's communique of 12th February in this regard. Pakistan stresses the importance of coherence and complementarity amongst the various political processes. The efforts of the African Union, the United Nations through the Secretary General's personal envoy, IGAD, Quintet, and other regional partners must be mutually reinforcing. The important engagement of the Quad should contribute to these broader objectives and help secure a humanitarian truce that can evolve into a ceasefire and result in eventual stability and lasting peace in Sudan. We call on all parties in Sudan to demonstrate the requisite flexibility and sagacity to reach a peaceful and sustainable settlement that preserves the unity of the country and prioritizes the interests and well-being of the brotherly people of Sudan. We stress that the Jeddah Declaration signed by the parties must be respected and civilians must be protected. President, the humanitarian situation remains dire and a cause of serious concern in Sudan. Humanitarian imperatives must remain central to the Council's work. Sustained, safe, and unimpeded humanitarian access to the affected areas of the country is essential. In this regard, coordination with the Sudanese government is indispensable for effective, predictable, and large-scale delivery. The recent delivery of aid by the UN in South Kordofan with the assistance of Sudan's government is a welcome development. We call for an urgent scaling up of international funding for the humanitarian response, which remains severely under-resourced despite the immense needs. We welcome the recent conference convened by the United States to secure funding for humanitarian assistance to Sudan. Mr. President, the Sudanese have suffered for far too long. The guns must fall silent and a credible political horizon restored. The Security Council must discharge its responsibility by supporting a unified, sovereign, and stable Sudan, and by advancing a coordinated political process that leads to peace. Pakistan will continue to work with all partners towards that end. I thank you.
I thank the